A few feet away, a group of Impusi tore into the carcass of a griffin, while other griffins flew around them, squawking in outrage. A six-armed Earthborn and a Lastagonian ogre pummeled each other with rocks, though Percy wasn't sure if they were fighting or just messing around. A dark wisp of smoke, Percy guessed it to be an Elydian, seeped into a Cyclops, made the monster hit himself in the face, then drifted off to possess another victim. Annabeth whispered, "Percy, look!" A stone's throw away, a guy in a cowboy outfit was cracking a whip at some fire-breathing horses. The wrangler wore a Stetson hat on his greasy hair, an extra-large set of jeans, and a pair of black leather boots. From the side, he might have passed for human, until he turned, and Percy saw that his upper body was split into 3 different chests, each one dressed in a different color western shirt. It was definitely Riordan, who had tried to kill Percy 2 years ago in Texas. Apparently, the evil rancher was anxious to break into a new herd. The idea of that guy riding out of the doors of death made Percy's sides hurt all over again. His ribs throbbed where the Arai had unleashed Graham's dying curse back in the forest. He wanted to march up to the 3-bodied rancher, smack him in the face, and yell, "Thanks a lot, Tex!" Sadly, he couldn't. How many other old enemies were in this crowd? Percy began to realize that every battle he'd ever won had only been a temporary victory. No matter how strong or lucky he was, no matter how many monsters he destroyed, Percy would eventually fail. He was only one mortal. He would get too old, too weak, or too slow. He would die. And these monsters, they were forever. They just kept coming back. Maybe it would take them months or years to reform, maybe even centuries, but they would reform. Seeing them assembled in Tartarus, Percy felt as hopeless as the spirits in the river Cacius. So what if he was a hero? So what if he did something brave? Evil was always there, regenerating, bubbling under the surface. Percy was no more than a minor annoyance to these immortal beings. They just had to outweight him. Someday, Percy's sons or daughters might have to face them all over again. Sons and daughters. The thought jarred him. As quickly as hopelessness had overtaken him, it disappeared. He glanced at Annabeth. She still looked like a misty corpse, but he imagined her true appearance. Her gray eyes full of determination, her blonde hair pulled back in a bandana, her face weary and streaked with grime, but as beautiful as ever. Okay, maybe monsters kept coming back forever, but so did demigods. Generation after generation, Camp Blood had endured, and Camp Jupiter. Even separately, the 2 camps had survived. Now, if the Greeks and Romans could come together, they would be even stronger. There was still hope. He and Annabeth had come this far. The doors of death were almost within reach. Sons and daughters. A ridiculous thought. An awesome thought. Right here in the middle of Tartarus, Percy grinned. "What's wrong?" Annabeth whispered. With his zombie death mist disguise, Percy probably looked like he was grimacing in pain. "Nothing," he said. "I just..." Somewhere in front of them, a deep voice yelled, "Oedipus!"